Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to the TV Terminal. My name's Adam Vale, senior editor over at the Koalition with a K.com, and I'm joined by Ken Burke. Are you hyped? This was it. This is what we've been waiting for all these weeks. We were waiting for the show to end. Oh, man. You know what? Yeah, if you're watching this, it's crazy. Listen, people. We wanted this show to be a banger. Right, that's
absolutely.
We did not want to poo-poo every week this show. It's not our fault. They were giving us poor writing. Right, we've talked about it in the comments, and I've seen other outlets. I'm still surprised when you tell me that Cross is number three on Prime Video. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Maybe it's because word of mouth is spreading that it's this bad and people can't believe it. And so they're like, oh, I got to see it for myself. And they put it on like, oh, my eyes.
Well, I mean, James Patterson comes with a homegrown fan group. You know, there's a lot of people that like his stories.
No, I get it. And I mean, this is why they're doing it. This is why Apple is picking just a lot of known writer material novels and then converting them into shows. We get it. This is not one of those, though. Remember, this is a custom script with those characters from the novels, but this is a different script. This is Hollywood, as we like to say. You know, we already talked about it before with all the sexy time that's been added in this show, you know, and all that. But
you know, I'm less stressed about all that happened earlier on in the season.
Yeah.
And in reflection to the show overall, the season overall, I'm less concerned with all the sexy time than I was as the season went on. I feel like the writing got lazier and lazier.
The writing and then the direction, the constant jumping around in different locations, the timing and all that stuff. And then why bring in Berto? What was the point of that? You adopt this kid. No one takes care of the kid. We already talked about how Nana wasn't even around to take care of the kid. So what was the point? Just so we can have the good feels that we got in this episode when Berto reunites with his sister?
Literally.
That was
literally, he's the cherry on the child labor cake.
There's so many.
By the way, no
ways.
such thing as a child labor cake. I'm just putting that out there. But
I'm just saying, there's so many other ways they could have gone by this. Or hell, if anything, they could have really pushed it in Elle's direction. Because remember, doesn't she works with the community groups? Because hey, do me a favor, can you watch him while we try to figure something out? You know, we want to help him out. Maybe that's when he could say, hey, I have a sister. She's somewhere around here. We're gonna look into it. We're gonna look into it. For now, hold your ground. We'll deal with this. But anyway, let's get into this. This is season 2's finale, episode A, Quemar. Right? We're done, man. This was something. So anyway, we got Lance Duran. He's walking the fields of Iowa. Why not, right? He's walking around. It sounds like he's giving this big speech, right, about the prosperity seed and how great it is. And he tells that sad story. Oh, I was feeding. I told my dad I want to feed the world. And he said he called me an idiot. And mama believed in me. And here I am. And you thought he was doing like a commercial, right? Oh, hey, rub a nipple. Listen, so let's talk at all this stuff. And it just wasn't working. We thought it was a commercial. And that wasn't it.
It felt like one of those fancy public service announcement commercials. He's walking through the dirt barefooted, telling his story and everything.
Yeah. And the camera was panning out and different stuff. Yeah, and Nate pops up. That's who he's really talking to. And then we see everybody else just working around, and they're getting set for this big event, right? This is a big event. It's finally happening. He's doing this whole big presentation about the seed, prosperity seed. This is the big unveiling or launch or whatever, right? But they're having it out.
By the way,
prosperity seed. Yeah, I can see that.
Probably one of the better aspects of the entire season.
I could see that.
The prosperity seed. That's a good one.
I could see that going forward and turning into a whole other show, like let's say like Umbrella Corporation, you know, from Resident Evil. I could see this really, it's like it opens up and it's like, oh, there's another prosperity seed factory over here or a farm or whatever, and then
so you're
saying
saying
people running it.
Alex Cross season 3, the zombie apocalypse.
Zombie apocalypse. Why not? Let's get crazy. Let's get crazy, right? So then we jump over. We see that Kayla is there with Nate and Cross, and we talked about this before. We talked about how Nate in the first episode said that she wanted to be involved in the investigation to find out who's sending all these threats.
Right.
She was
played
nowhere.
The background. Yeah, she played the background most of the season.
Yeah, she didn't even show up. Now
security.
Yeah, now we gotta lock this place down. This is top priority, and you're giving the whole speech about all that stuff. I was like, "What?
Yeah.
Where were you all these other episodes? You know, you made it seem like you cared, and I really thought she was going to be, his ears, and in this whole event. And that
they played it that way the first 3 episodes, and then they just trailed off and started,
whatever.
Giving the scale up to the streets.
It's time to have a meal. He sits down, starts talking about life. This is Lance. He's got all these other people around him. Nate's there.
The long table, like 12 people.
Nice long table. Exactly. Right. This is it. That they're all going to celebrate. This is the big moment. Starts talking about, hey, let's give a toast to the great state of Iowa and do that whole thing. And all of a sudden we see something going on with Nate. Right? She's coughing up. Oh no, they got me.
She's also getting all red and scratchy, so I knew immediately. Yeah.
Yep, she's having an allergic reaction, and she even says it. Right? She was like, "Oh, I think they messed with you. Made my meal in peanut oil. I'm allergic.
Yeah,
someone messed up,
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she gets up. She walks into the other room, bangs herself in the leg with the EpiPen, but that only saves her enough time to get to urgent care. Right.
Yeah. So she's right. Now we know that she's got to go to the hospital. We jump over back into the location, the event, and we see Kayla and Cross. They're talking. Kayla says, hey, by the way, good news. And this is news to us because we thought he was dead. Griff, the brother, the one that had the audio tape that gave the mixtape over to the aunt, turns out he has the real tape, and he survived. He took that shot to the tummy, and he didn't die.
Well, Donnie shot him, right? Donnie shot him. Donnie shot him. They were smart. The brothers were smart. That means they kept a book with the cutout in it, with the tape in it, the tape recorder in it, but it was a fake. So he had the real one, and he gave it to Kayla.
He knew that something was going to happen.
Going to come for it.
Griff probably told him. He's like, if anybody comes for him, just give them this, and then they'll see, and they'll be like, oh, it's got to be this, right? Like you said, it's got the cutout. It's a dead giveaway, but then it's like wrong. It's a fake.
Did you mention before Nate got the allergic effect and is heading to the hospital, that in the conversation earlier that Kayla yelled at her about, look, he's not going to do this out of order. You're next on the list. Because I think that's just it's a little important.
Did that come up there? I thought that came up.
I feel like that was the conversation.
I thought that was
keep going. Maybe I'm ahead of myself. Yeah.
Maybe because all right. So then we get really one quick scene where we see that Nate made it to the hospital. Right. And then it shows that she goes into a room and there's a guard outside. I paused it. I thought there was something up with this guard. I was like, why are they zooming in on this guy's face?
Hey, it was just FBI. Yeah.
It's like an FBI guy. But as we know, right? Right. So anyway, we go back to Cross, right? And he's hanging out up with the Lance and all of them. And this, I don't really understand. Where were they going? Because they're on the road. But then we see the FBI and everyone, they close off the road. And it's like, what's going on? And it was like, oh, Luce is on the loose. She's here in town. And Cross is like, oh, we gotta shut this down. Kayla's like, that's it. The event's not happening. And then Cross was like, wait a minute. No. This is it to your point there. It's like, she's not going to kill Lance in an Iowa hotel. Right. Next in line would be Nate. So Nate is going to be the target.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Right. And he was like, well, all right. But my confusion here is, you were just at the dinner place, and unless that's
but the farm and the banquet for the event,
two separate places.
Okay,
so then that's why. That's why it threw me off. So, right, we go back to the hospital. We see she's in the room. Doctor comes in. Oh no, it's Dr. Luce. And they start right. Dun, dun, dun.
Dr. Light.
We see Dr. Light, and this brings up the question of the person that was working in the front, because we saw like if that was an FBI agent, he was guarding the door. Once Nate went in, they zoomed in on this dude's face. Somebody was there. I think that's the point they were trying to get. Like, hey, just know somebody is with her. The person that accompanied her and is staying guard. Well,
2 FBI agents, both given the instructions to not let her out of your sight. And when the nurse steps up and says, "Okay, the doctor's ready for you," they stand up like they're gonna go into the room, and then she waves them off, and they like, okay, I'll be here. That I would have followed her into the room. She's a suspect that we all know is about to be murdered if we don't keep an eye on it.
And there was a big fight, and we even said it. Who's gonna have the upper hand? We would think the guard, the one that's professional at this, Nate. Right, that you're trained, maybe Krav Maga or anything close hand-to-hand combat, Wing Chun, do something, But
I mean, they tore that room up. They fought hard. They went at it, right?
Well, that's the other thing. They made a lot of noise. If the guards were still outside,
you threw her against the wall, the glass.
That
would have messed up the doctor in the next room with the other patient. Somebody would have busted in at that point. But
and then I said it was a scalpel. You said it was something else, though.
A paring knife. She had a paring knife. It's one of those really short knives, real thin, super sharp. Yeah, super sharp.
Yeah, because she's swiping it at Nate.
Oh, she jigged her a few times first.
She jigged her a few times on the side, but Nate kept coming. But then it was toward the front.
Yeah,
and we didn't see much happen. But then she took like a teeth kick that sent her flying, and I thought she spit out some teeth. It looked like something came out of her mouth.
No, she was definitely hurt. She broke a rib.
She
broke a rib.
Oh man, you got me good this time. Round 2. But before anything happens, even before she can get up, Nate looks down, realizes, oh wait, I'm bleeding, and then all of a sudden it's like a waterfall from her neck.
Yeah, but it's funny that she looked at the stab wound first. Actually, I think it was that was an interesting direction there. He felt the gut wound first, and then I guess that knife was so sharp.
But also, your adrenaline and all that stuff, you're feeling it, and then it happens. And then there goes that.
That's the loose special.
The loose special, right?
Yep.
I'm telling you, she is a crazy assassin. She's gonna get her own game spinoff. Like remember the Hitman? We're gonna have the loose edition.
The light will save us all.
So yeah, exactly. Look, you already wrote the first tagline for the game. But this is the other part and again, loose ends with the story, because we saw this at the casino where the guys that worked in the kitchen helped Luce escape. Remember, they covered up for her.
It's been several times in the show.
Yep, we see it here in this episode. She walks out of the room, and 2 nurses walk in to clean it. And we thought, at least I thought, they were gonna scream like, oh.
No, they were down. They were in on it because it was the nurse that came and got Nate in the waiting room, right, with the clipboard.
Yeah,
and said the doctor's ready for you. She's one of the 2 nurses that go in the room and clean it up.
Yeah, clean it up. Gets it done. Where's the guards?
Cut. Yeah, where are the FBI guards, right?
Yeah, where the guards?
Cut to the next scene. That happens in like 4 or 5 seconds, and then the following one, keep going. Just keep going.
Yeah. Because then right before Luce leaves, we see there was a plaque on the wall. This is where Gabrielle, her mom, used to work. She worked in this hotel. So this was all set up. This was all in motion. She wanted to get her sick, to bring her to the hospital, to off her in the hospital.
That means the cook at the dinner was also down with Luce. How many people does this lady know?
This is what I'm saying. Is like there's definitely, and we sort of got some of that with Lincoln when Lincoln talked about, I guess it was a message board or something that they can communicate, because remember he knew where he talked to her online, or everyone was talking in the group, but he didn't know where she lived, and he tracked her down.
Right.
So
by the way, I would point out, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I would point out that everybody that helped her was Latino. In the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
At the clinic, out in the field. So
and then if we as the viewers want to fill in the blanks, we have to assume these are all family members of people that have been affected. The kids, the families and stuff that were looking for them. She got them all together. Maybe that's what this message board was. And then she said, hey, I'm going to set these things in motion. Well, that's where it gets tricky then, because then they're all accomplices. There's tons of people. This is a big operation. They made it seem for the longest like it was just the Aunt Donnie and Luce. No, and then even when we got the loose end of Lincoln, there's still no, there's more, and they're everywhere, and we're never going to find out because just didn't bother. Oh man. And then we get the opening credits. That was a lot to happen.
That was a lot to happen before the credits.
The show officially just takes off. So anyway, we see Cross and John. They show up at the event. They're like, all right, let's get this over. We got to protect him. And there's a guard there. It's like, well, he's not here yet. What do you mean? Lance is missing. Dun, dun, dun. It was like, now, again, man, I don't like picking on shows, man. I'm not like, oh, well, he had his watch on his left hand, and then the next thing he had his on his right hand.
We're not there for that. No,
they're not there for that. But when we saw them on the road, there was an entourage. There was an entourage, right? There was a bunch of guards, not just one car and one cop car. Entourage. But no, all of a sudden now, Lance is in a car by just one car with his driver on a road with no other cars. What the hell? That doesn't make whatever. So anyway, they said they can't get a hold of him, can't find him. So then we see that
Nate. They couldn't find Nate. They were trying to find Nate, and in that same scene, that same story, there's the driver just took him to the hotel. And
Lance,
there's Nate. No one has eyes on Nate either, and then they kind of connected that it's being manipulated.
Yeah, that was it. Also, they couldn't get a hold of the guards, their other guards that was watching at the hospital.
Mm-hmm. And they're like, "Oh, she's missing." Yeah, no shit.
No shit. Right. So then Lance is like, hey, where are we going? Where are we going? And he said the guy's name, so he knows him. So this isn't like some new driver, like, hey, like an Uber driver. Hey, Bob,
Steven, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Wait, what are you doing? No, this is his driver. And then he pulls over and he says, well, this is where she told me to bring you. It's like, what?
So now he's down with her. How the filth.
Yeah. Don't understand that, but she opens up the door and she tases him, right? That's it. Now, if she really wanted to just end this, I would think, I'm not a hitman or anything, but it seems like the situation, this whole thing is pretty hot. A lot of cops, detective, FBI. If you have an opportunity just to end it, end it. That's it. You could have did it right there. Like, you know who I am. You see my face, this and this and that. You did it. This is for my mom. Pop, 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 and then walk away from it and leave him there in the car. But she doesn't. She takes him away. Right. We get Cross. He's still back at the event area, and he goes into detective mode. That's what I call when it reminds you of those Sherlock Holmes moments.
Yeah, it slows down.
Slows down. He starts throwing things together. He's remembering certain things and he's putting it together. And I get it. We're supposed to go along with this and start triggering and like, oh, I get it now. That wasn't doing it for me. Did it do it for you? Did you get it? Were you like, oh, I know exactly where they are?
No,
I didn't get it.
No,
I didn't get it.
But hold on. Let me think about that.
Go for it. Think about it.
This is lose with Durant.
Because Cross goes into detective mode, right? Where he's standing there and he's seeing all these things.
Right.
And then he was like, I know where she is. Right? He knows where.
Yeah, I have no idea how he figured that out. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, zero.
Yeah. I mean, is this?
He said something about the kids, and then he knew that they were in the field somehow.
I think that's it. It's go ahead, people, in the comments if you know. I think it has to do with that. It was still, it was still the farmland or something because there's no way Luce, as we see in the next scene, where Luce has Lance and she's gonna dump him in a hole, and it's already dug up the hole, and there's one of the scoopers, the land scoopers.
Oh yeah, the caterpillar. Yeah,
the caterpillar is there. So there's no way she just went and found one and drove it over there. You know what I mean? It must have been already there. So I'm assuming this is still the farmland area. So they went back there.
Well, no, it's so the announcement about the prosperity seed was supposed to be the following day at that location. That's what that little semicircle was with the pile of dirt there. So the caterpillar had dug that hole already.
Yeah.
So that he could just come with his little, ceremonial shovel and plant the seed, prosperity seed.
But again, she must have had help because those people, not only did they clean up Nate's the body and the mess and all that stuff, but they packaged her up to bring her to this location, because when they look in the hole, surprise, surprise, she said, I'm going to put you with your buddy, and Nate is in the hole.
This is what I mean by timing on this show was pretty bad, man, because the way they make you feel between each of those cuts, scene to scene to scene, there's only been 2 scenes in between, or 3 scenes, the office where she killed her, the doctor's office, and this scene. So how the hell did the 2 nurses clean the body up, clean the office up, obviously, and bring the body to the site?
There's some things we're supposed to just look past.
Yeah,
and I'm assuming
suspension of disbelief. But you know what? And they were like, ask me to do that too many times.
Yeah.
Then you start trying to. Then I feel like you call me stupid. You know
it was too much, and I get also they were probably trying to get as much done in this one
in a
day.
single episode. Yes.
Yeah, single, and they were like, hey, you know, we want to make it seem like all this happened in one day.
They got to wrap the story up. I bet you.
They got to wrap it up, and they're like, all right, we're going to do this all in Iowa between the farmland and the events center. So she says she's going to shoot him. She's going to lay him down there, and then all of a sudden, Cross shows up. Luz, don't do this, you know. And then she takes a gun. She's holding it to Lance's head. And when looking at the time, like, yeah, the episode just started. It's not ending here. This is not the standoff, even though technically this is it, right? We would think this is how it's going to end. Says no, I'm not going to do it. So then, what does she do? She takes a few shots at Cross right there alone. Even if, let's say, they gets off, like there's no proof that she committed any of these murders or crimes or whatever, and plays the victim to Lance. You take shots at an officer. That's it. You're getting some years just for that alone.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, well, either way, she's going upriver. It's happening. So she takes some shots, then she throws Lance in the hole, and then she triggers the catapult. It dumps the dirt, and then Lance dies. Then we move on.
Stop it. He didn't die.
No, he didn't die. But I found it funny because we saw in the last episode when they were chasing Donnie with John and Cross. They were like, that little fire happened, right?
Yeah.
So then it was like,
it's always a distraction.
Distraction. But one stays to resolve the situation, the other one goes for the chase. I thought, because John was there too, I thought this was it. It was like, all right, he's gonna say the same thing. Oh, he can't breathe. We gotta get him out. All right, you get him out. I gotta go get loose. They both try to get Lance out. And then once they pull him out, then they look and they're like, oh, man, we lost her.
She's gone. And you know what I thought in that moment?
Go for it.
Every other TV show or movie that has ever had a cornfield in it, when you run through the corn, what happens?
You're lost. You're gone.
Well, don't you create a little path that you can see from above the corn?
That's if you can see that high. If it's too tall,
you got up on the caterpillar. He got up on the caterpillar and looked across the field, and all the corn was straight up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it depends. It depends if she was really running fast or if she was crouched and just moving, not making much. But hey, you know what? Again, you're right. Maybe it should have been some. But even if that was the case, once he gets in there, he would get lost. It is not easy.
Yeah, there's no telling where she went.
Right. So anyway, we get a time jump. 2 days. 2 days. That's it. Right. It looks like everything goes well with Lance's event. He still does it, right? That's it. We have the prosperity seed. All is well with the world. I still don't understand why they're still having all these other issues with this seed. I thought that was it. It's good. He has all these farms. You know what I mean? Like, do you know the full story with this? Because I thought that was the whole thing.
Prosperity seed? Yeah, but
he was already distributing and doing. That's why we have these kids and all this stuff. No.
He was getting to the point where he was ready for distribution, and that you realize that later through some of the conversation with the FBI later in the episode that we can't back out. It's just he's just getting it off the ground, and we seem like the good guys and the other guys.
Yeah. All right. So it was just the food because I was still trying to figure this out because he keeps trying to launch this thing. Because remember the series started when he was going to present it. Remember he opened up the box and found fingers. So it's the whole thing. But then we see that Luce, she's in disguise somewhere, and she's packing things up. putting a little package together, and she's got that flash drive, and she's packing it up. So I'm like, okay, this is.
You know what I didn't notice? Did you look at Nate's hand in the grave when Lance Durant saw Nate in the grave? Did you look at her hand? Did Luce cut off her fingers?
I don't.
Cut everybody else's fingers off.
Yeah, but who's she going to send it to? Who's gonna get it? Because
at that point, right? Just keep.
Yeah, there's no one. There's no one to send it to.
Yep.
Right. We get over at the HQ. We see that Kayla. We don't see the aunt, but we hear her voice. We had to rewind it a few times. We hear that they're talking to the aunt. They found her and they brought her in for questioning because, as we know now, with the tape, because Kayla brings it up and it's like, if she plays the tape for Cross, we can hear that she's the one that was talking to Lance. The aunt was involved in all this. I don't know how.
So Lance came to the sister aunt,
Gabrielle, right? to the aunt, yes,
to the aunt, and I thought you said you were going to be able to control her. You know what I'm saying? Now she's trying to blow up our spot. She's like, "No, I got it." And he's like, "Well, if you want the $50,000, you better do this." So I pretty much incriminated her and her sister's murder.
Okay. That's what I was trying to figure out here because I was like, all right. So that was just trying to figure out how she fit in all this because she's from when we don't know. We don't know what the aunt ever did for a living. We know the mom was a doctor, but I don't know if the aunt was a nurse, also a doctor.
Yeah. We know she can afford 2 houses in the time that it took to raise Luce as a kid because Luce was 8 years old. According to the story, she was 8 when the mom died, right? And she's now well into her 20s, right? Close to 30.
Yeah.
And they moved at one point from one place to the other. I remember Kayla and
moving around.
I don't know what she did, but she could afford 2 houses.
She did something. Maybe they were just, I don't know, good at the crap games. Remember, they also live near the casino. So I don't know. Anything's possible. But anyway, they did notice that someone was calling the aunt from a burner phone. And they were like, all right, they keep calling. So what do you think we're going to do? What's going to happen? I could have sworn, I wrote down that Kayla says, hey, let's let her hear the audio and let's tell her about the whole thing. And then, of course, like, no, I have a better idea. So it's not to tell her, but it's to play the audio. So
I think Kayla was against showing her or letting her hear it at first.
I see, or maybe. I wrote down that she explained herself. Brought it up.
She explained, she did. Kayla brought it up. She explained herself. She goes, we can't let her hear that. You know, like we'll lose her or whatever. And Cross was like, no. Let her hear it. Let her know what's up. And then that's when we see Luce at the bus station, right?
Yeah, because that's where we found out that that's where she was, and she was getting on a bus, right? And I'm assuming she was gonna disappear.
She was going to Mexico.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She sent over the package to Cross, right? That was the whole thing.
She had the USB
and then
envelope,
and she was out, and that was it. But when she picks up the phone, and he's like, "Wait, don't hang up. Hear this." And then he plays the audio, and it's like, and then he says, "Not only that, but she's the one that killed Donnie. Remember, she was the last one to see Donnie." Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, well,
you can see in Luce's eyes, she puts it all together.
She puts it all together, and then she hangs up.
I gotta get off the bus.
Yeah, she gotta get off the bus. Stop the bus. But all right, this threw me off. Again, there's some parts that threw me off, and maybe put in the comments if the Niagara Falls. How did they agree if she hung up? She must have called back and worked out a meeting, or to the aunt, because it looks like the plan was, we're not going to tell the aunt that Luce called in and we played the audio. We're going to play dumb. But like, I thought they had enough evidence to keep her, but they figured, hey, we're going to say that we don't have enough. You're free to go. Because then we see that Luce is over at Niagara Falls, right? There's a tour guide.
Some dam. I don't know that it was Niagara Falls. Yeah, it was a big waterfall. It could have been New York because they were just in Ohio. Well, I mean, it's not far, but I mean, yeah, why would they be?
Maybe it wasn't Niagara Falls.
It was some big dam with
it was a lot of water falling.
Yeah,
right? So there you go. Damn, a lot of water. But anyway, they were there. But we see that Luce is there, and she meets up with the aunt. All right, so the aunt, they're talking, and then she plays the audio. This is Luce. Again, some stuff must have happened off camera for her to automatically have, because there's no way she pressed record while having that conversation, with Cross, and he was playing.
I didn't even think of that, but you're right.
Yeah,
she didn't. He called and played the tape.
Yeah,
and now when she's on the dam with the aunt,
she's playing.
She has the recording.
She has a copy of that. Yeah, and she's playing it back. And it was like, and Lamb was like, "Oh, I did everything for you. I didn't know they were gonna do that." And they go back and forth. She hates her. You ruined me. You turned me into your puppet to kill all your enemies. Whole big thing. Then Cross shows up, and he was like, "Lou, stop!" I mean, Lou really didn't do anything yet, And then it's the aunt that then pulls a gun. Where'd you get this gun? No one's watching her. You know what I mean? If you let her out, you left us. I was assuming, just like how Cross showed up, that they were tailing her, because I don't think they knew where Luce was. But
yeah, they had to have been tailing the aunt. They had to
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Because when did she get the opportunity to go somewhere and get a gun and put it in her purse? Because she was just in custody.
There you go. There you go. That doesn't. Again, we gotta look past it. And we gotta make it whatever. So she points a gun. And she knew what she was doing. And then once she does that, she gets shot. She drops. It's over. Yeah. Then Cross comes over and was like, "All right, now we can." And Luke's like, "No, everything is done." She steps on the legs. "No, don't do this. I love you."
No, he didn't say "I love you."
He doesn't say it, but he does. The traditional trope of like screaming the person. Every time a streetcar named Design, Stella, Stella. That's what I always think. There was a girl in my high school named Stella, and I used to scream at her all the time. She hated it. She hated it. She didn't even know what the movie was. The teacher had to tell her what the movie. And it was like, well, this dude likes to watch old movies then, because that's an old ass movie. Yeah. And then he keeps screaming, and he was like, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." Anyway, she's standing on the edge. She looks at him, and then she pulls, a swanton. She goes backwards and she goes over the falls, and he screams on it, "Lose!" I hate that. I hate that. It's not just for this. I hate with fun, because what's gonna happen? She's gonna scream, "Remember me." What are you
singing
expecting?
Coco?
Yeah, exactly. What are you expecting? What kind of response? I don't know.
And just like that, oh gosh, yeah. 8 episodes of her being the lead villain, and she just throws herself off the dam.
Yeah.
Quick conversation about how the aunt ruined her, and then she jumps.
Yeah. 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 I mean, yeah, exactly. And then it's over. Is she gone? I'm saying she is. You think she's still alive? Because you saw something. We'll get to that. But anyway, now 1 week has passed. It's like, okay, we're doing a little time jump here. And we see Cross enter. It looks like this is the office building or something, and he sees
it's
Kayla.
The FBI headquarters.
He brings her a bottle of wine. "Congratulations, you got your promotion. This is great." And she was like, "Yeah, we haven't talked. Things are busy. This and that." Are they still together at this point? Did they break up? What are you thinking? Because she made it seem like they were.
It felt awkward. They were like, "Oh, it's been so long since I've seen you. Yeah, I've been busy. Yeah, me too. Yeah, no, I don't know that they were."
It was weird, but the whole thing also is that he has the flash drive, and he tells her that he's like, "Hey, I have this flash drive.
Who's collected enough info on everybody?
Got everything. She's got everything.
Slam dunk case, right?
Yep, everything on land. The whole operation. Mm-hmm. We're shutting this down. This is going to be great." Because that's also so that at first I was like, "Oh, that's really why he's here." But then he brought the wine, so he was here for 2 things: to give a wine, celebrate. Maybe he's gonna say, "Hey, maybe we're gonna hang out later after this." I don't know. But anyway, once it's done, he goes in, has the meeting. We see the big boss. We see Roy is still here. What's up? I could have swore he was out of this.
Oh yeah, my boy Roy.
All of this also doesn't make sense, because as we know from the last episode, they said that the FBI had dropped the ball with all of this, right? And that this was now going to be part of the Metro PD, and that Cross was taking charge. Remember, that was what
that was the big deal, right?
It was like, "Oh, you always got to be the boss. You always got to do." So then why the hell does he have to present this here? I get it. It makes sense, when you think outside, because the FBI, but the fact that you already pushed them out of the way, in the last episode.
They should have been coming to you at your precinct.
Yeah, he should have. Yeah, if anything, he should have gave this to his lieutenant and the chief of police, and he's like, all right, now we're gonna go and present this. And chief police goes in front of the, the press, and we've seen all Law and Order. We know how this goes. That's what should have happened. But whatever. He's here. We see now, or at least we hear from this whole thing also, that it's not that they're dirty, but they don't want to disrupt the system. And they're like,
in the pocket. Yeah,
they're in the pocket. They're saying that, maybe some bad things happen, but there's a lot of good that comes from this, and we're not going to disrupt this. And he's like, but I got stuff on Lance. Stop it with the Lance. Lance is off the table. We'll go after.
Yeah, he used some corny Jenga reference. He's like, you're trying to push a block you think is a bad block out of a stack of blocks, but sometimes you got to think about the pile. And he said something about
it was a ramble.
Yeah,
it was a ramble. Bullshit.
Yeah.
It's all BS, and you can see it on Cross's face. Probably the best acting we've seen in this episode, because it's like they're stunned, like, yo, what is happening here? And he's giving a dumbfounded look because he's seeing it now. He's like, yo, you. And then they're like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Just give us the drive. We'll do an investigation. We'll go after the company. We'll hit him with some fines, and they'll be fine.
Right.
And he was like, I didn't bring it. And then they started like looking over at Kayla. He's like, I thought he brought it. You said he brought it. Like, I didn't.
He knew he had it.
Of course,
showed it to her in the lobby.
Yeah.
And
so that was
he tried pulling a fast one, but
then the funny part with this, though, compared to what we see after, is that I thought, like you said, he showed it. So I figured, if she really is, if we want to use the term double agent, working both sides, she could have said, no, stand up. It's in his back pocket next to his buttocks, or something.
Yeah.
But she didn't. So then he was like, I got to go get it. It's like, okay, well, Roy, you go. Yep, will do. Come on, let's go.
Good boy, Roy.
You see? So then they go out, and while they're leaving, I got to go to the potty. Gotta go. It's like, all right, let's go. They go to the bathroom, and then Roy's just rambling on about what's really good and the right thing to do, and then it gives us like, what? And then he turns around, and of course just whacks him and knocks him out. Just a hit. Yes.
I was laughing because I feel like all things being what they are throughout this show, I feel like Cross got the freebie on Roy, and I was happy about it because that dude needed to be punched.
He's been a pain in the ass, and he's played too many different sides with this. One minute we're like, oh, he's the boss. Then he's like, oh, he sounds crooked with the whole Operation Bad Religion.
Which, by the way, just went
poof. Yeah, that was all. It was all a test. All the BS. The whole thing with the girl,
the guy that she got out of prison. We didn't see anything from him.
He doesn't even show up. I guess he's out in the wind.
That storyline got wrapped last episode by him just showing up at the house.
Bobby Trey, Free Willy right now. Who knows?
Free Willy.
He is gone. Right. So he knocks him out. He gets in his Charger. He goes to the, to leave the building. Of course, you got to go to one of those checkpoint things to leave. And then you hear the guard's walkie. It says, hey, we're looking for a blackmail. And they're the only one here. You get out.
Yeah. They start flooding out of the building with guns.
Get out, Cross you. Well, he just bashes through the gate and he takes off. Right. So
in downtown Washington, D.C.
Downtown Washington. That is not the place you want to be with all this. But then again, he is a detective. And I was thinking, where would you go? Where would you go? If you're Cross and this just happened, I would go to the precinct, because then I was like, well, this is my safe haven. And I would talk to chief of police. I was like, hey, this is what's going on. Get the chief involved. What, you're going to arrest the chief of police on this? No. And the chief is going to get the win and get the rewards of busting this.
That would have been an easy way to wrap it up, though.
Would have been an easy way. Makes sense. But no, let's get everybody else's hands dirty. So he goes over to Elle's house. Shout out to Elle. She made a cameo in this one. She came back. I think this is the most lines she's had this season, besides doing with, and it's a, come on, man. She really didn't do much. And you're saying later on,
we'll go back at her house, right?
Yeah, that was it. Because he was at first, I was like, "Oh, what's it? Oh, there, yeah." He's like, remember that bag a while ago? Yeah, I remember. I had some clothes. No, come on. And then he goes in there. He got the guns. He got ammo. He's got all the stuff.
Money.
She's like,
it's a gold bag.
Yep, definitely a gold bag. right? And so he knew, and she was like, "What's going on?" And he was like, "Well, stuff is going down, and people
The
aren't
world is crooked. Everybody's in the pocket.
Yeah." And she said she knew it. She said, "I knew it." She was like, "I told you.
I knew this day was going to come." And he goes, "What do you mean?" And she goes, "Because you're a good guy, and they're bad people, and the system sides with them, and this was going to happen. Your paths were going to cross. I just knew it."
Yep. And I'm just glad it didn't go a step further, because then I almost recorded this audio here though, because he was like, "You're also one of the good ones. You're great and all this, and I love." And then he stopped. And then really, come on.
Never mind.
You could easily just say, you could easily just say, "I love you." I mean, man, she's been taking care of your kids. You've been taking care of. Well, I can't say Berto because I don't think she's never met Berto. that hasn't happened, but definitely takes care of the other kids and just been there. And then she was like, "Well, you better make it back here, right? So they can go and spend time, whatever." So they're like hinting that this is going to happen again. And I mean, when it comes to the relationship part, Elle can do better. She doesn't need all this drama. She really doesn't.
Yeah, for real.
So anyway, we see Cross. He's in his car. He gets at a stoplight. He sees his cop car, one corner. Sees another cop car. Now, they're just cruisers, right? They're just cruising around. But I guess once they spot him, the sirens start blaring.
Yeah.
And they're off. They're chasing him.
Yeah. 2 Suburbans and 2 Chargers chasing a Mustang through downtown Washington, D.C. And what does he do? Yep. He dialed up neighborhood wise.
Oh man, that he definitely does, but he does some fancy driving here. That 180 spin turn that he pulled, that was very cool. Yep, he did the whip, a lot of drifting going on, making these turns, right? Yep, right, making his call, doing his thing, and then even shout out to the stunt driver for this whole scene here, because it was fantastic, especially how he drift into the garage.
Yeah,
you feel that because it wasn't like, he turned in. It's like he was speeding and then just like drifted right. Really cool. Love that scene. I would have liked if they had another camera angle, both where it's going from the turn and then from inside the garage to see him just like. Whoop.
Well, they do. They cut to inside, but the car was getting turned off and he was opening the door already, right?
Yeah, and I guess they can't do that because then we would see it would be a stunt driver, and the cops, we ruined it. But anyway, he's in there. And then he gets out and he says, "Thanks, Malika." And this is where it threw me off again. I was like, wait.
No, it was some dude out at the car in the garage.
But then they
walk through a door and then they're in the diner with Malika and John.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
How the hell did they do that?
I guess
they went through the... Yeah.
It's next door or something, like you said. He was like, "Oh, the garage must be next door to the diner," because it's like they opened up a door and they're in the diner.
Wait a minute, they swung out of a kitchen door. Let's be very specific. They went right, so they went through a kitchen. That means the garage is connected to the kitchen, which is connected to the diner.
I don't know. All of it's wacky,
bro. Just
I don't know. What else was there? We still get with Kayla, right? If I'm up to that, right? Did we get up to that part yet?
So while Cross is sitting there talking to John and Michaela, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
All right,
well, what are you gonna do? And he's like, I was thinking of this plan and that plan. The phone rings.
That was Kayla. That was like
Kayla from the streets.
Kayla from the streets, right? And she calls him, because I was like, man, I got all this Caleb. Oh, that's right, I forgot. She called him, and she's just, everything that's going down, and we can fix this, and it's gonna be fine. And we know
cut to the FBI. That they're tracing the call.
But here's the thing: he is an investigator. He's a detective.
He does this every other Tuesday. Yeah,
exactly.
And he's on the phone, letting her piss him off and talking crap to her.
Oh yeah, and he's like, "I gotta go," and he's like, No, let's talk. And he stays. And I'm like,
you and I were like, "What are you doing?
You've done this on her end with other suspects." It's like, come on now, don't tell me. Was he? And then, and I get, it's like the cues that they give to us, because It's like there's no other reason for this. Then she's talking, and then he stops and he looks at the phone. You know, he does one of those like,
yeah.
Like yeah, we get it. You're in disbelief.
My call.
Yeah, exactly. Is that what's happening? Because then they pan over to her, and then we see they got this big tracking navigation system up, and they're like, "All right, we found it," and we see where he's at, and he's still talking though. He didn't hang up, and I couldn't believe this. I'm like, "Why are we doing this?" And then eventually, we got some feds come in. The waitress that's at the front, she's like, "We're closed." I still see other people there though. I mean, it's kind of funny to
everybody
say
was
that.
sitting in the diner. Yeah, she came out. She goes, "We're closed."
We're close. And he's like, "Well, I don't care." And then John comes up, and then I had to get this.
The proprietor says she's closed. No warrant, no entry. Now move along.
We're not going anywhere.
Oh, you leaving. Now we can do this the easy way, or we can do it the Samson way. Get your punk ass out of here.
He mushed him.
I love that. Get your punk ass out of here. You know, like,
I haven't seen somebody get mushed since high school. He got mushed. He didn't even put it. He got full palm, tight end. Get out of here. Punk ass.
Yo, funk that. Remember that? I was like, why is it everything? Oh man, but yeah, that was hilarious to see that go down. Right. While that's happening though, right, we get Kayla shows up at Elle's house.
Oh,
right? It's like this was a big one too.
Waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Hey, hi, you don't know me. I've heard of you. You sound great. I work with Cross. You know, he's into some stuff." She's like, "I don't know. I haven't seen him." "Well, you know, you need to help him out, and you know, maybe if you can call him and tell him to come and turn himself in and bring." I'm not getting involved in the whole thing, you know. And I know the type of person you are. You're only out for yourself. And then she just gets dark. "Well, then I can shut you down, and I can shut your operation, all this stuff." And he's like, "Oh, now you're showing your true colors."
And there she is. That's what.
There she is, right? I thought there was going to be a fight. I thought something was going to happen. Now, but the thing is that I don't think Elle knows that Kayla and Cross had an intimate relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she knows that.
Did they bump ugly?
Yeah, I don't think she knows about. I mean, how would that come up?
Nah, John wouldn't tell her.
John would have said. That's what I'm saying. So I don't think. And then Kayla never came around the house, so it's not like the kids can squeal. You know, like, "Oh, we got this girl coming over. You know, Kayla, if she's from the streets, we know her. She comes around a lot, and they make sounds." But no, that doesn't happen. We get an interesting. I guess anybody can come visit people over in lockup because LaDonna's still there. You know, come on. She confessed. They said she killed. Yo, you're going to Sing Sing. What are you still doing at the precinct and holding? You know, but she's there.
If I had to add the days up, this is easily 30 some odd days later.
I'm sorry. I mean, I've never been in holding and done all this stuff, but I've worked in police stations and areas. You don't stay that long. No. You definitely don't stay that long. So
send you the booking, you get booked, you go to the island,
they'll send you to Rikers. Right. You do your time waiting in Rikers. I think it's up to 2 years, the longest stay. Then they send you up to Sing Sing and all the the main ones. Mm-hmm. But anyway, she's over there, and we see that Nana comes over, pays her a visit. So I guess this was she pulled some strings. I don't know how she did this, but they still let her go in.
She's not a cop. She's like the half mom of a cop.
That's maybe Vega. That's the only thing I can think of. She talked to Vega.
They did what I told them to do. She said,
"Yeah, exactly." Whatever. But why is she here? She gives her a good line about being a better mom and this whole thing than she is. But she was like, "How could you pick a man over your child? How could you do? You don't know my life." Blah 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 blah. She's like, "All right, fine. But can you do one good thing?" And then
it cuts.
It cuts. Right now, before I go on, what did you think that one good thing was? I'm just curious because we know
I had no idea what she was going to ask her for. Like, I thought she was going to say something like, do John a favor and tell him it's not about him. He's hurt by this or something like that. I didn't see. Yeah, keep going. I didn't see it.
Yeah, all right. You didn't see it coming. I also didn't see what happened after this coming, where Kayla showing up at the precinct, Lieutenant, like, I'm not talking to you. You know, it's just,
she laughed at her ass. She looked at you like, bah! Man, I wouldn't tell you if I knew what it was, bitch.
And I was shocked by that.
Lieutenant.
Right? I was really shocked by that because I was like, well, you're here. She's the FBI agent. I don't know. It just something about it felt off because, like you said, that's the lieutenant. It's not just another detective. She's the boss.
Right.
And it's like, if anything, she could have said, you need to stop this pursuit of Cross. We will handle this. He didn't break any laws. What, he punched the guy? And you're going to arrest him for that? He's also law enforcement. You don't know what happened in the bathroom. He could have tried to touch him. It could have got real awkward in that bathroom. You weren't there because that's what I'm assuming, that's why they're going after him because
because Roy woke up and told everybody he got smashed in the face.
But you know, what happens in the bathroom stays in the bathroom. No cameras allowed. So no snitching. Don't snitch.
True,
Don't snitch. Don't snitch. But anyway, now this part, another little part where I was like, what? This is his car, right? So we see it is his Charger. Because at first I was like, are they just stopping anyone with a Charger? But it was
Mustang.
What's it? Yeah, Mustang.
They drive Chargers. He drives a Mustang.
Chargers, and he had the Mustang. Yep, flip.
Right.
They pull him over. They drag the guy out. You know, they do one of those, and then we see it's not him. Now, I thought this was going to be Bobby Trey, but then again, I was like, then Bobby Trey would just go back to jail because he's technically
right. Well, Bobby Trey didn't work for Alex either.
No,
Bobby Trey was Kayla's.
Yep.
Right.
And that's right. Now, who is this guy? I don't remember him from the diner. At first, I was thinking, oh, maybe this could be one of the guys that was at the diner that helped out, with the car. Because then he gave him the keys. Remember? He put down keys on the table.
Well, no, that was the old black dude who was like, I got a BMW 1983 white in the back. You can take that. And he put the BMW keys on the table. So, but that means he gave the Mustang to somebody else in the diner. To do the, hey, I'm over here.
Yeah. Because they did that. And then that was the thing. Because eventually, I don't think, because we were all happy about the John mushing in the moment. But then eventually when the guys walk in, they just saw that the phone was there. Cross was gone. That whole deal. But then, so it's not him. He got away. So then Kayla gets into detective mode, because she's at the precinct still. I just have to be.
Oh yeah, she did the Alex Cross detective.
She did the Alex Cross thing too, and then she's looking around, and then it's like it zooms in her eye. Remember, it was like some weird thing, and she was like, "I know where he's going. He's going to the senator."
She was looking at the list of the people that Luz had already killed, and second on that list, early on in the show, she had killed the judge, the mother of the senator that she went to the office and cut the back of the picture and took the photo out of. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We also hear on the news that Cross is wanted. Right, that's the other thing that we hear. It's like, all right, he's a wanted man. Everyone's after him. It's like, again. It's like, first he was disgraced last year with all this stuff with a few years in their world, 2 years before with the Ramsey thing. Remember, he was disgraced. He lost his job, and then now he's wanted for what? They did for punching an FBI guy in the bathroom who was looking at him weird. We don't know. He could say all kinds of things. All right. But the shocking part of this is, where is Cross? Where is Cross?
And all this, right?
Yep. Where is he? He shows up at the White House. Did we see that coming? I didn't see that coming. I did not know.
Well, he's on the phone with John. Well, I kind of got it because I knew that the judge, when Kayla said, I know where he went, and she was looking at the judge in the eyeball, you saw it, right? That she was going to go to the senator because the judge is dead. So the only person then is the senator. Cut. Alex is getting out of the white BMW in front of Congress, the Congress building, talking to John. And John's like, I can get you in the building. I made a phone call, but after that, you're on your own. And sure enough, it's Cross going in the building to go see Senator. And what happens?
That was weird. So he gets in to see Ashford and just spews everything.
It's like, taste. Because when he goes in the building, Kayla and her cronies are already in the hallway.
Was it a chase? Well, eventually they get. Yeah.
He's like walking in thinking he's got it. And he's just going to walk up to the senator. And he gets in the main lobby. And Kayla and a bunch of FBI goons are like, Alex, stop. And then they chase him all the way up there. He slams the door, locks it.
Yeah,
and then
that's enough. Yeah, all you got to do is slam the door. These could be very thick oak doors. I don't know, but it was kind of funny to hear them just banging on the door. Open the door.
Let us in.
Exactly. It's like, come on now. Right. But he tells them a bunch. I just got the audio here.
Pressbrook did, talking things you would not believe, including new information related to missing children. Senator, when you were a kid, they owned one judge. How many do you think they own now? How many? Your family carries a debt, Senator. You carry a debt. It's time to pay up.
Yeah,
that was a good line, actually. That was actually one of the better lines in the show.
Time to pay up. And then he said, "No, it's not. I'm rich." And he opened the door. Get him, right? I'm rich, bitch. But they eventually said, I heard it was funny because the guy was like, "I have a key." And then he opens it. So they didn't kick down the door. It was like eventually they went and they got the extra key from the janitor. All right, so they get in. They're like, "All right, hands up, Cross." He's arrested, and Kayla's there. And then she looks over at the center. I was like, "Did he give you anything?" Like, "No." And then I was like, "Okay." And then they walk out, and we see it, and it's like, I was like, "Oh man, I don't know.
Yeah,
There was something about
lazy, just lazy.
Right. So what was it? I think now we're at the end of this, at least toward where they have a big event. Right. They're doing a ceremony. I don't remember if they said a week late. Was it another jump?
So it's a few days later. It cuts, and it's the senator guy in a conference room with a bunch of reporters sitting down waiting to hear him. And standing there next to him is Lance Durant. Right.
Because the Ashford was supposed to approve some bill for the prosperity seed.
Yeah. And well, the FBI, if you remember earlier in the show, the FBI is like, and we can't bust Durant because we got people we're signing contracts with all around the world, and part of the contracts now are the prosperity seed. So he had worked his way. Durant had worked his way into the highest levels of government, and the senator's like, I was supposed to sign that bill this week. I'm not doing it. And then he spills the beans. Go ahead, let him know.
He spills a lot. He talks about the kids. He started rattling off names. So he remembered all of this. It was like 7 kids, and he was like, and these bodies of these kids are buried in the farm that died
at that farm that he was at in the beginning of the episode.
At the farm at the beginning of the episode.
When they dumped the dirt, when she dumped the dirt on him, and they both dug him out real quick, they dug up a lunchbox, a kid's lunchbox. And I said to myself in that moment, that doesn't make any sense. Why is there a kid's lunchbox in the dirt here?
Well, it still doesn't make sense. Who dumps a body? It's like, you know what? He might be hungry in the afterlife, and they dump a lunchbox. Who does that?
If you noticed when the senator blows up Spot on Lance, and Lance is like, "I'm not going to stand for this," and he tries to walk out, John grabs him and he goes, No, you're going to watch this. You're going to know the names of these kids you killed, right? And then they start showing at the same time, the senator's reading the pictures off the television, the teleprompt, and you're seeing the pictures of the kids. They keep cutting to the fields where the real FBI agents are in their hazmat suits digging up the bones. And then they say a kid's name and they show a gravesite. And they say a kid's name and they show. And I noticed that the kids had objects like a teddy bear.
Yeah.
And things like that. So hence the lunchbox.
Okay. All right. So then I guess it's like they're all their belongings, whatever they had, gets buried
in the same grave. Right. Yep.
Oh man, that's crazy.
That's
but hey, shout out to Ashford. He just spews all this stuff
doing the
out.
right thing. Right.
Doing the right thing. Lance tries to leave the room. Nah, buddy, you're leaving in cuffs. Right. They got him. Right? I gotta get that audio. We got him. Right. Yeah. So they do that. We get a little montage, all the stuff happening. It looks like they're digging up more bodies over at the farm. We also see people doing funerals. I'm assuming it was one big mass funeral, but they were all getting in their own individual caskets. Now this gets interesting because we see from the behind of a woman walking, and she has the tattoo that Luz has, the back tattoo.
And it almost looked like her, same body type, and all you saw was her hair in the back, but she had a backless shirt on, and it was the mountain with all the symbols of the people that she had just killed from the Sochi story. So you thought for a second it might be her. Maybe she survived jumping off the dam.
No.
I hear you. Highly unlikely.
I mean, it's TV land, so yeah, it's very possible.
Oh,
I mean,
then why show us
seen the fugitive
lady's back
fugitive,
with the same tattoo? Yeah, I saw the.
You remember that? All right,
yeah.
You can't bring me in, and he jumped off. But what I was thinking is back to the maybe if it's a subreddit or whatever, this forum. If all these people were believing in that same story, and we saw that story pop up again when she was falling down, remember from the memories. She was doing that maybe that this is something that they would do. Others would get that tattoo and be followers of the light and now in memory of Luz.
Okay, yeah.
Because they know that she passed away, so they did it in memory of her. I don't know. That's one of the things that I was thinking. Right. So that's happening. We see that. We get another happy moment. We get Berto and his sister. Right. We predicted this. Berto. Now the question is, he going to stay living with Cross? I don't think so. I think this is it. I think the sister has Berto, and now she's going to head back to wherever they're from, and that's it. Live with other family. I don't think she's moving in. He's like, oh, is everything good? Yeah, I got a new dad, and you can be part of my family too. And then Cross like, I only wanted one. I'm sorry. We're going to have to split this up. It's like, no, I don't think that's happening. Speaking of reuniting families, we get John and Nana. Now we find out what Nana wanted from LaDonna, and it was a name. Gives it off in a piece of paper to John, and he's like, who's this? He's like, this is your bio dad, and he wants to meet you. And that'll happen.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I don't know anybody that wanted to see that coming. I mean, I wanted for her to just give it and be like, you know what? This is her confession. She, you know what I mean? That's what I thought it was going to be. Like, it's like, you know what? She confessed, and she says she loves you, and she was just, she blacked out. It was just a dumb moment. This guy manipulated her. Who knows? But no, that's not what we get. We find out he's got a bio dad, and they're gonna meet. That never happens. At least not here. I don't know anyone is like clamoring with their hand. Oh, I can't wait to season 3 to see this. Whatever, But that's the thing that happened. And then this was the big scene. This was it. Cross shows up at the precinct. Everybody's talking. I find it funny that the other cop in the back was like, hey, I got some craziness going on with this gun. Remember that gun I told you about? You're still talking about this? Yeah. That all goes back to bad religion. So it makes me wonder if that's going to come up again. And because that was the one part that was real. The gun. All the other stuff wasn't, but the gun was real. At least that's what I got when Roy was explaining the whole thing.
I mean, what are they going to do? Bring that back in the following season? And
nobody cares.
Well, the main lady got shot by Bobby Terry or whatever his name was.
Bobby Trey.
Bobby Trey. He walked into the house at the last episode and said, "This is what you get."
So even though Maggie didn't really die, somebody else did.
No, that was Maggie.
I mean, fake when she didn't die.
Fake died. Right.
Fake died. She eventually did.
Yeah, she really did. Yeah,
she really did. So they made that come true. But it was funny that happened. And he's walking through, and then the lieutenant's like, "Oh, come in the office." The chief is there. They're talking about, "Oh, you're gonna get this promotion, you get this position. Oh, you did a great job." Blah 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 blah. And he's like, "Yeah, whatever." And then he just takes out his gun, takes out the clip, puts his badge. You're like, "Wait, what's this? What's going on here?" Like, I'm out. He's like, there's too many people willing to look the other way that shouldn't be looking the other way, and I can't be a part of this.
That was a good speech, though. I gotta give him
he definitely did a good speech here, and they couldn't understand it, but it's like, hey, he was like, but you won, you did it. He's like, no, I did it because other people were willing to make that change and do it. But if they didn't, if Ashford said no, that's it. It's over. This doesn't happen, and Lance gets away with all of this and continues to get away with it. Because that's the worst part of this. It's not so much of that he got away with the kids and other people that died, is that it's going to keep going. This is still how he gets his employees, these immigrants doing all this stuff, and then if things happen, then the cycle is going to continue.
Part of a broken system, right? Exactly.
Broken system. So there's no point. So then he was like, "Yeah, I'm out," and then he does the slow walk out, and then that's it. It's over. And becomes a mailman in season 3.
Yeah, and
it's
mailman
for he finds some stuff.
Mailman in private.
Who's this? You're stealing mail, buddy. No, if there is a season 3, I'm still shocked. Like you said, it's number 3 on Prime. If you made this far, thank you, people. There are some people that actually go.
Thank everybody that listens to us.
Yes, thank you all. We get it. We see in the comments. Some people like long form because it's the way, explaining everything. It says breakdown in the description, but then other people just want to get to the nitty gritty. But anyway, again, just want to thank you for that. Now we're just going to give our thoughts. If there is a season 3, you said it best right at the end. Like, it becomes a PI.
That's the only thing I could think of. He doesn't do that in the books. So I don't know.
No. Well, they're not following the books here. Unless they do something real cheesy. And he doesn't become a PI, and he just moves out of town and becomes a detective somewhere else.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's
honestly, it felt like the icing. It felt like icing in a cherry on a cake.
That they just ended. Like this could be it, and that's what I would have said until you told me that this is number 3 on the watch list. I'm shocked. I really thought I don't see any chatter about this. No other big news outlets are covering this show. No one cares.
Yeah.
So I'm like, whatever. I mean,
it happened late in the season too, so people must have been out there and be like, "Oh, Alex Cross is a pretty good show." Turned other people onto it, and people started watching it. I mean, it's been in that position for like the last few weeks now.
Well, somebody's watching it, and we'll see. Anything can happen.
Somebody liked it.
We don't know the budget. Maybe the budget's not that crazy, and they're like, "Hey, we can keep doing this." But if he does come back, of course, this come back, I could either see, like you said, he comes back as a PI. I could see him coming back in a different location. He moves his family off to some other place, hopefully not another big city, and then drama, maybe take him out and put him in some countryside, Midwest or something. That'd be funny.
Right.
Just change it up. I don't know. I'm just thinking, throw him in Louisiana. We got Nola King coming. That's with Samuel L. Jackson. It's a spinoff of Tulsa King. And I could see something like that,
Okay,
yeah. So I could see something like that. Put Cross in like Louisiana or some craziness if he becomes that. But it seems like it makes more sense the PI route, and he stays there because to uproot your kids and do all that. If he was by himself, then I could see that. But hey, whatever. And he's got L. I think they're gonna try to bring that forward again. If it does happen, if there is another season.
Yeah, they left it off on a good. She backed him up, he backed her up.
Yeah.
They left it off on a good note.
Yeah, where's Trevor?
If there's one thing I know about this show, Kayla's for the streets.
Right? Kayla's for the streets. She is, and she's a pain. And I'm curious to see what happens with her.
Ride her ass out.
She right? That's what you would think. But she could be the semi-villain, that or Roy, you know what I mean? I could see something, but who knows? Who knows if there is a season? We'll see. We'll see what happens and see where they go. But anyway, thanks again. We are done. We did it. We weren't sure about it, but we did it. We still weren't sure about it halfway through. We were like, what the hell? We wanted this to be great. It wasn't that great. It's just the writing, not so much with the acting. There's only an actor has to do what they have to do. They're writing. They're like, hey, you got to look at the
follow the script and
really?
the direction.
That's kind of silly. I just told you to look at the phone like you're confused. Okay. Whoa. You know what I mean? Dumb. But anyway, thank you again. And there's other stuff going on the channel. And then we got Marshals and we got some other stuff here. What is it? Monarch Legacy of Monsters. That's another good one. Yeah. And that's it. And we'll see you next time, next week.
With on the rebound,
whatever we got. There we go. Peace.